So, something that I think is helpful to understand for anybody who is trying to be on a path where they're making moves to bring more peace into their own lives or trying to act in a way that's going to bring more peace into the lives of the people around them is to understand that being peaceful towards other people is an art. It's not a science. It's not something that you can repeat every single time and expect to have the same results. You may say something a certain type of way. You may learn how to de escalate in a specific scenario. So you think you have something that's going to work, but when you try it again, it backfires because the person you're speaking to may be dealing with an entirely new set of circumstances, or you aren't presenting yourself in the same way or with these same intentions that you did before. People could always feel when you're being inauthentic. So you may be repeating a similar process, but it doesn't guarantee that you're going to get the same results. And so you're always having to think about how you can go back to the drawing board and understand what may have worked and what may not have worked. And I think it's important to remember this because we're never going to hit the mark 100% of the time. You try something, somebody else gets it set with you. You try something and you find that you respond differently. Now you're upset and you're angry and you didn't even anticipate it. And people are thinking, hey, this is somebody who claims that they're trying to be a certain sort of way, but now look at them. They're the ones getting upset. They're the ones who are responding with anger. And we shouldn't demonize ourselves when something doesn't work. What we should do is just look at how our interactions are working, think about how we got to this space, and think about what we can do to make it different the next time it comes around. We're always adding new tools, new strategies, new mindsets to how we're approaching different scenarios that may rub us the wrong way, that may challenge our identities, that may push us in ways that make us uncomfortable. So just understand that. And there's a lot of beauty in that process because you're always going to be learning. You're always going to have to think outside of the box. You're always going to have to listen with that extra sense that we typically don't utilize. I've been reading a book about how to listen to people better. And one of the steps that's mentioned is understanding not just listening to what's said, but learning to listen to what's unsaid. Because a lot of times people will be communicating so many different things with their mouths, but their body language is saying something entirely different, or their energy is saying something entirely different. So if we're not learning to listen to somebody holistically and we're thinking we're just going to respond to what they're saying in this type of way that maybe will alleviate their frustrations, but we end up making it worse because we didn't hear what it was that they were actually saying. So never get too comfortable with any of the strategies, questions, all of these different things that we're learning along the way when it comes to connecting to other people on a different level, and understand that it's always going to be evolving. We're always going to need to be adding to our tool belt to make sure that we're relating accordingly in a sense that's going to bring the most harmony to whatever situation that we're in.